Welcome to Horror Movies and Beyond, a show about reviewing horror movies for the living to understand the dead. And I'm your host, Ivotres Littles, and I have two really special guests Joshua, director Joshua, and Larry, who plays the killer in a really cool short film slash music video called Death Trip from the popular band HED.
All right,
Whoa,
go back to the
Head-
30-second intro.
head PE. Wait, did I say it right? Oh my god!
Yeah, you got
Oh
it
my
right.
gosh, that's so
It's
horrible.
actually pronounced.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. It completely. I went blank right when I was saying it, and it's like the most simplest thing.
You were
That's
worried about
so
saying my
horrible.
last name.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh.
So how was it working with? It's wonderful. Swell fellows.
Okay, all right. Mistakes happen. Let's go. I have the
No
correct name.
mistake.
I have the name right there below, and I still screwed up. That's just terrible. Anyway,
Oh, you're
It's
fine.
Norwegian, by way of California.
really?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
see?
They're from
I haven't
Aren't
Cali.
you on the West Coast?
Yeah.
And you don't know?
Surprisingly, I've never heard of them. But I don't listen because when I was watching this and I was listening to it and really listening to it for like the second time, I was like, it's not my kind of music. I love what was going on. That's my kind of style. But the music, that's why I didn't.
It's a weird track. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite by them. It's different, but that's what's awesome about that band is every song sounds like, something else. So
My
Oh,
favorite because I'm a killer in a music video. So you guys can just stop and just say it's your favorite.
anyway, so let's get started talking about this. For you, Josh, how did you come up with the entire concept, or you worked with them to get it, or how did it happen?
yeah, so I reached out to the band and said, hey, they were coming to Jersey, and I was like, hey, if you guys need anybody to film your show, let me know. I've been a fan for a long time. HED was one of my first shows that I've ever been to, along with it was like HED, System of a Down, and Fear Factory. And HED and System of a Down were nobody. Like they were like selling the CDs themselves. Like they had no like a very small audience. And that was my first show, and they just they really impressed me, and it just stuck with me for a very long time. So I reached out to them. I was like, I'd love to just film you guys. And then we ended up talking, and then we decided, they were like, hey, we have this new album coming out. Do you want to do this song, a video for this song? And I heard the song, and this song was called Sand Mine. It actually wasn't even Death Trip. And I was like, I have this amazing idea, and I pitched it to them, and they loved it. But we just could not get it to work logistically. Like it just wasn't going to happen. And so then he was like, you know what? We want to release this song Death Trip too. Why don't you listen to it and then come up with a concept? So we went, I went and listened to it, and I was like, you know what? Let's just do a slasher thing. Let's just have fun with this. It's one of those videos that doesn't necessarily line up perfectly with what the lyrics are saying, but it just kind of has a vibe, right? So I said, dude, we're just gonna do an homage to Friday the 13th and do it HED style, and they loved that. So we went. They had a show in New Jersey at this place called Dingbats, and we went a couple hours early, set up the green screen, set up some lights, filmed the band in front of that. That way we could get the performance and do a narrative. Because labels are really big on making sure the band has a performance within the video, but it's been hard. One, because of COVID, and two, because HED is spread all over the world. Like, there's a guy that lives in Amsterdam. There's a guy that lives in
Really?
Cali. I think one of them lives in. I think the singer lives in Iowa or Idaho. I think it's Iowa. It's Iowa. So they're all over the place. So they weren't going to be able to get together unless they were on tour. So just filming a music video for the sake of filming a music video would have been very difficult. So we did it while they were on tour in front of a green screen. I brought lights, and it was myself, Larry, who plays the killer, and Gabriella, who plays the final girl. And we just went and filmed them. And I had this green screen footage, and I was like, all right, now I have to figure out how to make the Friday the 13th part. How do we do the kills and how do we do all that stuff? And that's something I'm very familiar with. So that in itself just came naturally. It gave me a lot of freedom because I was able to just throw them on a TV or on a projector or on a cell phone, and have the band involved, but still have a lot of freedom to, kill some counselors.
So,
here's the proof that I was the killer, since my face is in it.
The killer right here.
Yeah, there's.
I have a question. Now I noticed the kills are from. This is just me, because the kills seem to be from different movies. Was that on purpose? Like you went down the list and was like, I want this kill, especially the sleeping bag, and that was from Friday the 13th, 7 New Blood.
Yes.
And
the greatest kill.
And Jason X.
Yeah. There's also one where his head was slammed in the campfire. Was that something of your own, or was that from
I've seen it.
I've seen that too.
I know it's in one of them, I think.
The
it's
one
definitely in the game. So that was
I've never played the game. I never played the game. But there was something similar to that. Jason Goes to Hell in the diner. Yeah. Something like that. So
it's also similar to the Jason X, that frozen, where he grabs her.
Oh
Jason.
Yeah.
Just anytime Jason grabs someone in the back of the head, it's gonna be he's throwing them on something hot or cold, I guess.
Another thing was the hot poker from Friday the 13th Part 3, which that's my favorite. Number 3 is my favorite. Next to that is Jason Goes to Hell. And that was from the poker right through the face you see in the beginning. It's after the sleeping bag, but he comes in and like gets in. And then the other one, the axe to the guy after he was peeing, was Friday the 13th, A New Beginning, in 85. So that was similar to the axe right here. So, but we'll get more in depth in that. I want to talk about the killer. The killer was amazing. Larry, you were awesome. I have to say,
so
are you a professional
killer? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a hooker in the back right now. Oh, I should have. Shut up!
How is your mom, by the way?
But you were so good as Jason, quote unquote, the killer in, Jason reference.
I like to call him the Death Trip Killer.
Okay. So is it something that, you just got, you auditioned for or got hired for? Or you guys were like, hey, or do you do this professionally? Are you a professional stunt guy who does killers?
I do this for Josh. So I'm a professional for Josh. So I'm in actually a few of his films. I don't know, one of them, if you're going to talk about it at all, is the Demon Baby film. No, that was something we did for a film festival. But
I should say that.
Yeah, you should have. It's something I do with Josh. He thinks I'm good. He thinks I should be in movies, and I'm in a music video now. So there we go. I've got a lot of anger too, so
I could see you dress up as Jason or some kind of crazed monster villain or something, like a constant thing, like a character. Like you could do that because you were really good in this, in this
You're
film.
making me blush. Stop it.
Yeah.
No, No, I'm being serious. I'm not saying this because you're right here. Like no, like you were good. Like the way you were.
Oh, I'll listen after this too. I'll listen to the next 10 of your podcasts just to make sure that you don't say something different. And then when you do, then I'm getting dressed up. And what part of California is this? Because I got the mask. I got the jacket back here somewhere. And the boots. Those things hurt.
So
Larry's
are you... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Larry's one of my favorite people, and I do believe that you should be a professional actor. Because being expressive and being able to sell it is one thing. Being able to sell your body language is a totally different animal. I knew that he would be able to do that from not just being his friend for as long as we've been. I knew, I tell this to my girlfriend who I put in things. Close friends of mine, like if I don't think you're going to be able to do a good job, you're not going to be involved. Like I need to be able to sell, because the video or film or short film or whatever it's going to be is only going to be taken seriously or only going to have the correct tone if everybody brings it and everybody, is on their A game. And that could be with comedy, that could be with drama, that could be with horror, whatever it is. You're only going to be as good as your weakest link. So, I really mean it when I like cast Larry. It's not just because he's my friend. It's because I've seen, I know how funny he is. I know that he knows how to act and he can do voices. He can physically, move his body however I need him to for the part. You look at somebody like Kane Hodder, and he has a presence. Like Kane Hodder figured out how Jason breathes. He figured out how Jason's shoulders are going to look and how Jason moves in a way that the actors before him, I don't think really did as much. That I love CJ Graham. I love all the other actors that play Jason. Dash, everybody, but Kane has that way about him, and he does it in Victor Crowley too. Like he has Victor Crowley in Hatchet has his own body language, and not everybody can do that. But I knew Larry would be able to do that.
So
I'm a fan of the Friday the 13th movies too. So I mean,
that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah,
So did you watch him to study the movements of the character?
I've been watching him for the last 40 years, like Michael Myers, Jason, every Hatchet, like every giant Leatherface, every misshapen man figure that's killed anyone. That's what I aspire to be. Tor Johnson from Plan 9 from Outer Space. He's my hero.
So the location when you were filming this, where, because you say you had to be with the band. Well, that part wasn't with the band, right?
No, that part was completely separate. We ended up filming at 3 different locations. One was Dingbats in New Jersey. That's a concert venue. That's where we filmed the band. The other was a place called Waiting Pines Resort, which was a campground that we got for very cheap, but that was very problematic. And then my parents' backyard at one point because they had this like wooded area. And we just tried to blend it. We tried to blend it together. So 90% of the camp counselor stuff is done at Waiting Pines Camping Resort. And then when she's on the phone, and when she trips, the second the final girl trips and is on the phone, that's my parents' backyard. But Waiting Pines was cool. We reached out to them. I offered to do like a promo video for them, or etc., in exchange for us being able to film there. And they were all about it and seemed excited. And then at the last minute, we had three days there, and at the last minute, they said you can't film on the first day. And then, so I was like, oh my God, everyone's here. Like, what are we going to do? So we filmed the stuff inside the cabin, figuring we wouldn't get in trouble, because we rented the cabin. What we do inside the cabin is not bothering anyone else outside. So we can at least get that stuff. So we got everything inside the cabin, and these cabins are they're like 8 feet by like 10 feet, not even. It's
Mm.
like the size of a shed. So I was like, the next morning I need to go talk to them. So I went and talked to them, and really what it was is they just wanted to meet me and talk to me, and they weren't going to be there that night. So they didn't want to give us permission without meeting us first, which is completely understandable, but it almost fucked us, kind of. So the next morning they were like, yeah, do whatever you want. So we were, we were filming in the woods. We were filming outside the cabin. We filmed as many different places we could. I think we had batteries on these giant LED lights. I had 2 V-mount batteries on them. And we were filming till like 3 a.m. the one night. And we got 99% of what we needed to get in one day.
So, Larry, where did you come in at? For each scene where these kills happen, Josh, did you pick them, or Larry was like, hey, I could do this, I could do that on this scene? Like, was there any collaboration on that, or was it strictly all you, Josh?
I always ask people like if they like what they think and if they have like any ideas. I think for the most part it was just a lot of the kills were out of necessity. Like, what can we do? Like, I'm doing all the effects. I'm going to be designing the lights, and my friends are going to be helping me set it up. We didn't really have a crew. Everyone you see in the video was crew.
Oh, really? Well, they were pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like, they were actors first, and then friends first, then actors, then doubled as crew. Just, hey, make a face until you get it right, and then I'm going to kill you in the movie, basically, in the short film. But everything was written around what we could do with minimal VFX.
I wrote up a treatment. He's forgetting, my creative inputs because he just wants to take all kinds of credit. But I wrote up a treatment beforehand that had 2 killers in it. They were brothers. And I think the one, I guess it was, we both had the same idea with the movie watching scene. Because I had that in there too. And then just at the camp scene where you watch the movie on the sheet. And he had the same idea when I submitted what I wrote. So, but yeah, it usually was, hey, can you do this? And then I do it. And it's in the middle of September, and I've got steam rising from me from just my knees aren't what they used to be, and it's take after take, and I'm sweating 10 pounds off. And
well, it looked like you guys had a lot of fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun looking at it.
It was more fun when the campers right next to us thought we were TikTokers. So that was great. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then they started talking to us about aliens and stuff like that. So, I guess they thought the lights in the woods were weird.
Oh. Okay. So, from the beginning, I mean, we see 2 people, watching this, and then I love how it just the look of it was so 80s. I mean, it was so awesome. I mean, even the shirts, the cabin, and as soon as you see them sitting, like laying outside, and you see the feet, I knew exactly. Like when he was in the sleeping bag, and he was getting, was that you, Larry, zipping him up in that sleeping bag? Yeah. Did you really toss him to the tree? It looks so real.
I would have dislocated every joint in my body if I would have attempted to do that.
It is, I think. I think pretty sure he actually would have died. That was a friend of ours, Kent. His name's Kent Borsman. He's just a tiny little guy, so I wanted him to be. He was? Kent, the guy who looks like.
I think she's talking about Matt.
Well, because there's 2.
I'm talking about. Kent is the one that gets zipped up and thrown against the tree.
Okay, and the other guy
he's very small. He is. So I figured if like 2 pillows were in a sleeping bag, it would fit his physique. And
it's what every man wants to hear too.
Yeah.
It's equivalent to 2 pillows.
Also, the poker the kill, like it was up close. It looked like it really got him. I mean, the special effects was
Thank
just
you.
amazing. I
Thanks.
mean, everything just looked like it was like expensive. It probably was.
Thank you. No,
That's
you don't want to know our
that's
whole budget. Our entire
that's
budget
all
was
him.
like less
That's
than
you. You did all
Yeah.
the special
That
effects.
is
all the
him.
special effects, all the editing, the color,
Why do you
shooting
think
it.
I'm friends with him? Because he can do this
Well,
stuff.
I need to be friends.
I'm not getting there on personality by myself.
Because
I gotta ride his coattails.
So you also direct, of course. You direct this, but is your specialty visual effects? Is like that is kind of like
Yeah, it's visual effects. I can do special effects. You know, I just wanted to make write and be able to make movies. And I learned visual effects kind of by accident, because I was trying to find somebody that was affordable to do visual effects for this indie film that I wanted to do like years ago. Like we're talking almost 20 years ago at this point. And I couldn't find anyone to do it that would be affordable. And I was like, well, how, like, maybe I can do it, you know? And so I taught myself. And then over the years, I just started working on projects and it just kind of snowballed. And I've worked on a lot of stuff and, you know, have a feature movie that I worked on. And I just, yeah, effects are, it's not necessarily something I like. It's not my, like, I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about anything I'm doing at the moment, but it's something I feel like I think I have a good grasp on this, so I keep doing it.
I got to see this video. I mean, it's so good, and it's so well thought out. Each kill, like you knew where it was from. Like, oh, I know, I've seen that, and just when you finally see head to toe the mass killer, it just was like it was almost perfect of the silhouette, everything. So how did you get
did
into
help
that?
that I have a hate for at least 60% of the people I killed in real life, so I that helped a lot.
So oh my goodness, you know, I should be worried.
Why?
We're
You're
all
so far
friends.
away.
You never
I can't
see.
get there.
Don't be creepy.
You know what? How I know you're not sitting out there right now?
How do you know? I mean,
you're in
really
your
don't.
car. You're in
can't
your
afford to
car.
get to
That, you know,
California.
that would be a cool horror movie right now. We're like talking, and then like think it's a joke, and then you're actually.
That'd be great if I just came
Yeah.
right through the door.
It's like when a stranger calls, but when a stranger does it.
When a stranger comes and raids your fridge is basically what it would be. Eats all your leftover pizza.
I mean, so did you watch like the movies ahead of time? Because you said you know
No,
you're a huge fan. You just put on the mask. And
Yeah,
said, you know what? I'm finna
that's
start hacking. See, I have a
ours-
fake one here. Just like
Yeah.
so. That axe wasn't real.
Between Larry and I mean, we spent so much time just watching horror movies together and just like talking about like making horror movies together and etc. It kind of, I think there's a language there where Larry's one of the people I can go up to and be like, no, you know, do like this kill or maybe a little more like this. And I don't really, as a director, I can be lazy. Like I don't have to really explain. He already knows what to do. So I think there's a good relationship with there, and that's why you get like some really great like reenactments with some of the kills and a couple new kills too. You know, like the machete being pulled out of the one guy, and then if you watch that frame by frame, he cuts the arm. The guy has
That's
yeah.
Akira Kurosawa. That's
it's like a samurai.
Japanese action.
Yes,
Whipped around and cut off his arms and his head.
He has the log over his head,
favorite.
and his arms and his head get cut off. And it's
I know, and then I really like how the phone was in the hand, and she's like trying to it was a phone call, and then she and then you see the band like going. I was like,
yeah,
that is so cool. Like I've
silly,
never
you know?
seen it. This is a music video that had a reason. You don't see that really anymore. Like I don't know.
There's no theme. There's no themes anymore. They're really just.
Like if MTV was doing videos, that I could see that.
I like to think about like, wouldn't it be cool? Like if every like, what are people going to enjoy? Like I'm like an audience first type of person. Like what's going to make people be like, this is cool, this is fun. You know, I'm trying to impress, you know, everyone I can.
If it makes us laugh, we hope it makes everybody else laugh too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after all of this, so what did the band think of the video? Like, what were their reaction when they saw it all, you know, put together?
I got feedback from their publicist, and he was like, "Dude, I absolutely love this. This is like one of the best." And then the singer texts me, and he's like, "Dude, bro, best video ever." And then he openly will say like that's his favorite video, and he's very happy about it, which was like full circle moment for me. That was really cool.
We did a live stream with Jared, the lead singer, and he said it right there. It's his favorite video. It's the best video that HED has ever done.
Oh wow,
that's
awesome!
Yeah. And it's in the internet. It's forever now.
Have you done any more of their other videos, or was it that just the one?
No, so I want to, but it's hard to coordinate with the band that's touring, you know. I'm working on I'm bogged down with some effects projects right now. I'm doing Terrifier 2 right now. I'm the visual effects guy on that. So that's taking a lot of my time creatively. And then I have a film I'm planning on reshooting with this guy in it. So it's hard to coordinate.
There's one movie that you were a producer on that is one of my favorites. Contracted, yes. You know, I love that movie. Was nasty, and I loved it.
Yeah, that movie's a little bit of a sore spot for me.
Oh,
I was supposed to have a little bit more involvement with that film. It's a good movie. You can see me in the movie.
You're in the
a
movie.
Little bit in the background at the party. It's funny. Like I'm in the background in 2 different takes. You know, it was one of those. You know, it was an indie film that was made for a little bit of money. So in order to make a party scene full, you got to have the 20 people that are in this scene mixed up and then go in this scene, you know, like this area. But yeah, Contracted, it's a great film. I think Najara Townsend did an excellent job. You know, Caroline Williams is awesome as the mother. Everybody on that film did an awesome job. Mike Teston, who shot it, is amazing. He has some movies out of his own that are really good. I have not a bad thing to say about anybody that worked on that movie.
Is there any other projects outside of that, Larry, that you're doing, or is it just that one?
No, it's basically whatever he puts me in. See, I insisted on working behind the scenes. So, So when he started this whole movie thing, I was going to go work the cons. I have a background in retail management. So I was going to work the cons. I was going to work the tables. I was going to just, you know, sell the Blu-rays, sell whatever T-shirts, and then he gets the idea that I should, you know, actually be on film, which is something I never wanted to do, but it's fun.
You were good though. You should. You were good. I could. Yes, you were good.
And as a little Easter egg, I'm actually the announcer in the beginning too.
He is when the TV says
we have returned to hedpe.
Oh,
yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on here and talking about this fun music video. It feels like a short film because you're kind of watching a story play along too as well. Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing.
And that's why, like, I when you were looking for like short films and stuff, that's what I gave you, because I was like, this might not count, but it kind of counts. I don't know. We'll just catch a vibe and see how it goes.
Well, it counted
I'm
for
glad
me.
You enjoy it. It has.
I really did enjoy it.
every single shot in that music video, there was a lot of love put into it. You know, every shot has a visual effect. Like every single shot, every shot. That TV is not a real TV. It's not even a real room. That is 100% CG.
You're good. You're good.
This is why I'm doing this. Yes.
Wow.
The hardest.
And you were self-taught. You were self-taught, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just kind of play it by eye and watch tutorials.
Congrats.
The hardest effect, actually, fun fact, the hardest visual effect in that whole fucking video, no one will ever notice, and it's all Larry's fault. When the killer is walking in front of the sheet and has a machete in his hand, and then he lifts up the machete, up the sheet to go to the machete. He lifts up the sheet to go kill the counselors. Larry didn't have a machete in his hand. I had to add it.
I didn't. He's like, what's wrong with this scene? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, you weren't carrying a machete. I'm like, was I?
You forgot the machete.
You forgot the machete.
Just didn't have one at the time.
And it was
you didn't notice you didn't have it?
We did so many takes. We did so many takes with that one. We because we had to get the sheet to go perfectly right, because he had to overlay the film they're watching on a wrinkled sheet that's going up. So we had to do it so many times that the sheet didn't like crumple too much, that it was still like a solid layer, so he could overlay whatever movie they're watching. That doesn't even make any sense.
It kept catching.
Catching on trees, and
you wanted to throw the sheet up and then have it just come back down and block what you.
And then I would get tangled in the sheet, and
So he'd throw the sheet up, and then it would wrap around the line that we had there, so it would get caught, and you'd be able to see him just walking, and then everyone would turn and look at the camera, and it's like, no, the sheet has to go back down. So we were concentrating on that, and the machete, I had to go literally frame by frame and track it in, and like how would it reflect against the light and how his hand moves. Like, it was just, it worked out, but that, like, literally a shot you wouldn't even know. And then of course everything on the phone, the projector, all of that is visual effects. So literally every single shot has some kind of visual effect to it, which is insane.
Even with the head smashing, we had a physical element for it that he just completely got rid of, and then he did it all digital, and then he said he hates that one the most, and that's the one that people comment on the most that they like. So he hates the head smash. Everybody loves the head smash.
Yeah, I love it too. It looked pretty cool.
I love it too because of the person I do it to. So it was like living out a fantasy.
Well, I have to say, that was amazing. You guys did an amazing job. Josh, you killed it. Like, it looked, oh my God, it was just good. You just did a great job. Larry, you as a murderous killer at a campground was just fantastic. I think you should take it somewhere else. Do something. I don't know.
If I don't, you'll see me at a con when I'm 75. I was the Death Trip Killer. You watch the video.
Sure you were, Grandpa.
It's gonna be the greatest 3 minutes of my life.
Well, it was one of the greatest 3 minutes I enjoyed watching. So thank you guys.
Many women have said that about me too. So thank you. I appreciate you acting to it.
Anyway,
let her end the goddamn video.
What?
Try to do it for fucking 5 minutes and we keep talking. Making it all awkward.
This is fun. But thank you guys so much, Josh and Larry. If you guys love more videos like this, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and make sure you find these guys, whatever, follow them, do whatever, stalk them. Larry likes to be stalked, so stalk him, because he likes to stalk people too. So
I'll stalk you back.
Definitely. And check out this video. Link will be in the bio and everything else. So thank you guys so much. And until next time, bye.